Hello there. I'm making this video with a bit less than half of a plan, but I do have something I want to talk about, which came to me in a dream. It didn't. It came to me while I was sitting around reading, and I wanted to talk about the different houses I'd like to live in different seasons. If anyone wants to hear about that, and also just yap about what I've been reading. I don't read at all, but recently I read a book. I got this from a friend's yard sale, Secret History, and I haven't read a proper book since, I'd say, last year. I really got out of the habit of it, which is bad because I'd like to read, but I settled down and I read that book, and it's, 620-ish pages, and I was on holiday. I had my, big leavers holiday with all the boys from my boarding house at school, and during the day there was a lot of lying about, so I was just reading all day and then going out in the evenings. And I read the whole book in 5 days, which I think is a bit much because I saw some people on TikTok say it took them months. But I really got into it. I was blitzing through it, and I can still quote little bits of it, so I did actually take it in. I had a friend round yesterday because we had an art show, our end of year art show, and I had him round for that. And we just spent 4 hours on a walk talking about it, with me sniffing in the background, in case you can't tell. I'm actually quite sick at the moment, but we're not going to dwell on that. Okay, I read The Secret History. I thought it was very good. If you've read it, I was a big Francis fan, big Camilla fan, very anti-Henry. I don't see why people like him so much. He seems like a nasty boy. Charles, mixed feelings. Bunny, I would have found him annoying, but didn't deserve that. Richard, bland narrator. I guess he's interesting, but I didn't care all that much about him. My next book to read, possibly a little step down in literary quality, Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I think I like the vibe. I like a little bit of glamour, a bit of partying, a bit of gay. You have to include all of it. It's a great time. The last thing I'll talk about before I actually get into what I wanted to talk about, which is the houses and the seasons, is this book, which my sister got me for my birthday. I turned 18 just over a month ago, and she got me this lovely copy. I don't know if it's... Look how pretty that is, of the Edgar Allan Poe's for The House of Usher and other stories. She knows I really enjoyed the series Mike Flanagan did. I think it was Mike Flanagan did, which I think was called The Fall of the House of Usher, but it was inspired by all the different stories, The Telltale Heart. I don't know the other names, but I really enjoyed that series, so she got me that book. And I know it's an older book, so I'm bracing myself to read the older book. My older book I need to read is Emma. I'm really excited to read that, but I haven't emotionally braced myself. I love the 2020 film. I watched it twice, when I forced my whole family to watch it with me. Then I forced my friend who suggested The Secret History, forced him to watch it. It's a great film. You can't go wrong with it. Okay, I'm going to try and do some editing. So, I've got a notebook actually. I've got about 20 of these notebooks, that's no exaggeration, and I just kind of blitz through my ideas and sketching them, and I have ideas, I forget them about 20 minutes later. I've got the memory like a sieve. Okay, the first one I want to talk about, see if I can put text, is spring. Spring is always my favourite season. I spend about half my life outside. I really love going on walks. I'm not a really adventurous person. I live in a village. I stick to the village typically, but we've got lakes down in one direction, a river Thames, down the other one, so I can kind of get out and go around a little bit. And I just spend all my days walking. I have a 20,000 steps a day average, and I have a great time. Okay, for spring, my ideal place to be is a Folly Tower. There's one specific tower which got me fixated. It was where I went on a school day out kind of thing for sports. I did a outdoor education thing at my old school, and it's the Farringdon Folly Tower. Better picture up here somewhere. But I went with a couple of friends, and I just absolutely fell in love. It's a tall tower on a hill, just overlooking British countryside. It's not Wiltshire. I think it might be Oxfordshire countryside, but it's just beautiful, peaceful, and the height. I love being high up. Definitely scared of flying. I really hate that. I flew for the first time on my own last week, and no. I like to have something stable beneath me, but I love to be high up. My ideal spring home is a tower. When it's raining and thundery, it's a little bit, it's going on? But also exciting. And in just those sunny days, you can walk for miles around that sort of area and just have a great time. In an ideal world, I've got more pictures. This is what we're going for. It's something inviting. It has to be in the middle of nowhere. It's spring season, I want to walk around, I want to be on my own. This is a very strange video, but I'm hoping there'll be some enjoyment to be found in it. Before I move on to summer, I want to talk about the other thing, probably the only other thing I actually read. Oh, I've destroyed that book, excuse me. Which are plays. This is how I got back into reading to begin with, because I'm a very visual. This is a recommendation. That's what I'll play. This is a tip I'd have if you're trying to get back into reading, and it's if you have a quite visual imagination, reading a play is a really good thing, because you've got the interesting dialogue. You've normally got some really interesting characterization, but you're not being told to think of things in one specific way. Just go on. Okay, I read this one, Cleansed by Sarah Kane. I was having an angsty little phase when I wanted to buy that. And it's like a gory, traumatic, university, cult, something. But it's so weird and vague that you can really interpret it how you want to, and not have to focus too much on the gory bits if you don't want to. It was regarded as an unstageable play. They've got some really weird directions, like some flowers come out of the stage or someone's feet get cut off. It's a very, very strange book, but it's great for getting the ideas going. Also, if you saw my last video, I have hair now. I'm really lucky. My hair grows so fast. I think next time I do a little video like the previous one, which was things I've never done before, I might dye my hair green. Is that a questionable choice to be made? I have just got a new job as well. Well, I've signed the contract. I need to do the other part, which is I need to do the other half of the training. I've done about half of it. It's just boring, but I have to do it. I'm going to be a waiter, a food and beverage assistant at a restaurant-y pub in the town just over by me, which I'm quite looking forward to. It's on a river, and as you'll see when I actually remember to move on to the next one on my list, place I like to live, there's a lot of water involved. I was talking about plays, I got sidetracked. Anyway, I just recommend them if you're trying to get back into reading, because you're reading off the page, but you can also just think for yourself, and that's a lot of fun. I was reading Cleansed. The two I have for school, because I did drama, A-level, were Jerusalem by Jez Butterworth and Our Country's Good by Timberlake Wertenbaker. This one's an interesting one if you can get over the 1700s of it all. And Jerusalem is actually a lot of fun. We studied it for school, and I think I have a very nice teacher as well, so I enjoyed it in that way. But it's a really interesting book. It's a lot of just fun characters doing wacky things. I've got The Witch of Edmonton, which I found on my own because I was trying to look for a monologue about witches. I was going for a phase. It's a fun book. It's very much old-timey. Literature speak, am I right? Old-timey books. But, yeah, it's fun. And I have these two which I still want to read. Flood Warning by Faye Weldon and Littleborough Morning and Big Sis Afternoon by Mike Tibbetts. They're very small ones. I'll get through these in an hour or so. But yeah, that's fun. Okay, the next place I'd like to live in the next season, which is summer, is... I don't know the best way to describe this. I saw it described like this on TikTok. A prismarine brick townhouse. It's like those blue enamel, or the bluey-greeny enamel tiles with white on a townhouse. I don't really like summer, I'm being honest. It's summer now, in case you can't tell by the fact that I'm slightly tan. I've spent a lot of time outside. I find it way too hot, but an air-conditioned townhouse, maybe with a little pool in the background. I've got an unlimited budget in this idea. It's just my ideal. You can slip out to get a cold drink, a cold glass of wine. Nice glass of wine, 2 ice cubes. I have no more to dwell on this. I like the idea of living in a townhouse for a little bit, being in the city, but ultimately I'm a countryside person. As you can tell by the next one, which is autumn. Autumn, I know, is a lot of people's favourite season. I am not one of those people. I don't dislike autumn. I know a lot of people really enjoy the brown leaves and the crunchy walks and all that sort of stuff, but I just find it a bit too muddy. If I'm going to do not sunny, not a pretty environment, I'll go for winter, because you've got Christmas and you've got snow and you've got all that sort of thing, and the ground is frozen, so I'm not slipping everywhere. There are parts of autumn to be loved. I really like the kind of Halloween-y... Is it Samhain is the proper word? I always get confused. But I enjoy that kind of warm coziness. And I like to party a little bit, so I like Halloween party season. I was thinking about what costume I'd do, which is a bit in advance, because it's what, June 20th, 26th? I want to do a candle, like a candle hat with like some sort of like drippy candliness. But if I can, I'll actually see if I can light it. Hopefully it'll be raised up enough to not light me on fire, but that would be a really cool costume idea. Okay, did I actually mention the house? No, I didn't. I only see this a couple of times. I think they're more like Netherlandish. The kind of, the wooden, colourful, quite minimal huts. A fire burning in the background. And then hiking home from a walk. I love animals. I have a big dog downstairs. Coming back with your dog. Toweling them off when you get in. Just settling with a cup of tea in front of a fire. With a big glass wall to look out on the storm. Or like a cloudy, grey, rainy day. It fills me with joy. Oh God, that was embarrassing. You know what? There is no such thing as embarrassing. I am who I am. I think I can actually claim, and this is me being a bit self-centered, I think I can claim to be one of the few people who says they like winter more than like summer while winter is happening. I think my family can vouch for me in that. I love it when I have to bundle up. I have a good collection of, I can't see it. Actually, you can see it kind of hanging up. Where's my finger pointing? That green stripy fleece is my favourite thing to wear. My friend got me a really nice stripy shirt, which I really want to wear. I like having an excuse to get all warm and cuddly because I naturally run really hot. You can't see it. I'm just wearing boxers down here. I'm sweltering too much. I have to turn my fan off because it'd be too loud. But I love winter and I'm so excited to be back to it. At some point when I'm older, I'm going to see if I can escape like Svalbard during winter, which I have a slight obsession with. I had the idea for a book with like vampires who like go for an annual meeting at Svalbard because it's night all the day during winter. According to my sister, that's a book which has already been written, but you know, I could redo it. I can't write. Okay, we've talked about winter a little bit. This video is getting too long. It was meant to be a quick one. And for winter, my like ideal dream house, committed to it, is a houseboat. I might be romanticising it too much, but the idea of being in a houseboat, slightly rocking a little bit on the water, with like, there's always a fire involved if it's cold, a log burner in the corner, a little plume of smoke. You can get baths on that. I love the idea of living in a van, but you really can't do a bath, you have to have a shower, and I'm a bath person. So having a bath, heated, maybe even by the fire, because I did that once with a jacuzzi. You have to heat it yourself with a log burner, and that was a great time. But something like that. Just, you could have a cat, curl up, watch the water out your window. If it snowed, please let it snow. I would love that. They're not very practical to get around. With a van, you can drive pretty much anywhere. And in Scotland, I live in England. In Scotland, you can park literally anywhere, like on the side of the road and all that sort of stuff. It's got very different rules to England. In England, you need a park up or a campsite or something like that. And they have to be like almost planned and paid for normally. I'm normally broke, I don't want to do that. But something about the idea of just like so I'll put it really big right here, the coziness and the warmth, contrasting the cold. Because if I'll get overheated, I can just step outside, soak up the snow, soak up the cool air, breathe it in, suffer from a cough. Yeah. Okay, those are my ideal houses. Those are my ideal houses for different seasons. And I have one more thing to talk about, which is the other book I read, which is The Divine... Why am I tapping it? I'm not an ASMR artist. The Divine Farce, which is a different book to The Divine Comedy, which my mum didn't know. She got me the wrong copy for Christmas, and I bought it very nice later though. And we got a new one a bit later on. I saw a video by Jules Dapper, I think that's what they go by, on TikTok, and I was just like, yes, I want to read that. So I had to, that's one of the very few books I've actually bought a copy of when I've seen it online. And it's a small book. You can get through it in less than a day, easily. It's what, 100 pages, 120 pages? And they're small pages with big text. And it's just about, like, a progression through a weird, like, almost hellish landscape with people and connection. And It's a really good book. I recommend it. It really puts you in the world and leaves you very confused. Thank you very much for watching. This was a nothing video, but if you got this far, it was a something video.